The tide...
She spits 3 bloody teeth out onto the floor beside your feet and grins crimson at you.
I truly didn't think you'd have that much fight in you. I'll win my title back, I will. But first, I'm gonna find somebody a lot nicer than you to kiss all this better.
What do you want? Boss is busy.
Beast strokes his beard for a few seconds, buries his hand inside it, then whips it out again to display his extended middle finger. He marches past, finger still raised, to the chagrin of the gawking guard. The guard shrugs back.
Boss can take care of himself. I'd like to see your friend try that with him.
Come on. You're one of us, ain't you? Tell us what happened.
I brought you up from girl to woman, Marla. Like you was my own. This...
He lifts his right arm, showing a white bandage beneath his ribs. A wet red spot shows through.
This ain't the thanks I expected. Who sent you?
The formidable dwarf slams his fist on the side table. You hear a loud crack.
Enough! Do you know they killed Anhar? Do ya? Start talking sense or I'll take that tongue right out of your mouth and fry it for supper.
Beast growls under his breath and slowly reaches for his weapon. Beast thrusts his weapon at his fellow dwarf, who looks first to you, then to Beast. He's surprisingly unfazed by the obvious threat.
Bart, Cade, get her to talk or bleed her out. She ain't one of mine anymore.
His sneer travels from the restrained dwarf to you.
And you. You're a brave lad waltzing in here now. I know who you are, you know. The Beast of the Sea. What brings you to this good-for-nothing town?
Operation Downfall, you numbskull. And you'll tell me what you know, or I'll turn your guts inside out and stuff them down your throat.
Disgusting. Well, before you go blood-crazed, you should know the Queen's no friend of mine. Not no more.
He hawks a wad of spit on the floor, then motions to the room around him.
I'm a businessman. I can't say I always keep things on the up and up, but I don't think a rogue pirate's got a lot of room to judge a man for his various trade concerns. And what Justinia's cooking up ain't so good for my bottom line. I don't want to help Justinia. I want to stop her.
Beast considers Lohar's words for a moment, then sheaths his weapon and motions to Lohar to keep talking.
I thought you'd see things my way. Come, make yourself comfortable. We'll have a chat when you're ready. Brave lass, waltzing in here now. I hope for your sake you've got good news for me. If you don't already know the answer to that, I reckon you don't have much to tell me.
He winces loudly and holds a hand to the bandage on his side. The large red...
No more than what's fair. No less either. So, how'd you make it out of Fort Joy? I've got to say I'm impressed. I love a good story. Here's one I heard lately. A group of strangers landed on the beaches outside town. Meister Seaver's people.
We ain't gonna keep you around much longer.
You one of her little seekers? Chasing down Godwoken and begging them to save us all? So? What do you want? Ah, I should have guessed. I could help you. But last I heard you was working for the Magisters. Big shots at the boats. Now, why in the name of all that hurts would I help a worm like that?
An unpleasant smirk twitches around the corners of his mouth.
Right. I reckon I could help you out. Depending on what you can do for me.
He gestures towards the bandage across his side.
Had a bit of family trouble lately. My girl Marla got it in her head to come after me with a short blade. That ain't like Marla. Ain't like her to pull the silent treatment either. Something's going on. And wouldn't you know it, that blade she used wasn't any normal bit of steel. Belonged to another of my people. Guy's name is Mordus. Bit of a loner, but smart as hell. I sent a few guys to go check on him, see if he knew what had got into Marla, but no one can find him. I'd like a word with the guy. Glad you see it that way. No one's seen him in a good few. I've got some people checking out his house near the tavern now, though. Tell them I sent you, and they'll let you know what they've found. Truth is, they might be glad to see you. Reckon a sorcerer will have better luck finding one of their own.
Good.
One more thing. Like I said, Mordus is a sorcerer. Maybe even one of the ones Seaver's after. If there's something you want to find out from him, you might want to ask before I have my word with him. Here, you can take this off my hands. More suited to your kind, really. Good luck.
My friends, for Alexander!
Useless. Bloody useless.
I don't care if you tear this place apart plank by plank.
You've been warned, Barnes. Now get out of my sight.
The Magister turns, and his eyes fall on you.
Oh, there, lizard. Reach for a weapon and I'll see you gutted, filleted and pickled. Now, I'm looking for someone. You might even know him. Grey cloak, grey beard, a satchel of books under one arm. Of course you haven't. Your kind would never rat out a sorcerer. If I find you're hiding him from me, I'll cut off bits that won't grow back. If you see anything suspicious, report it immediately, skink. Understand?
If any of
You see a man, well-fed and wealthy, but stress has lined his face and narrowed his waist. He tries to ignore your presence, fails. He sighs.
See here, scale skin. I'm very busy. The factory is crawling with magisters, and our shipments to Arks are held up. Time is money. Don't waste my money. What do you want? If that's some kind of riddle, I ain't about to play along. Now, unless you've got something on your mind... Fish. This is a fish factory. I'm shipping fish to Arks. Now please, there's the door. I suggest you use it. A sophisticated Imperial lizard like yourself will surely know that in business, there's a market for everything. You just have to find it. Or...
A dark shadow passes across his face.
sometimes it finds you. That's privileged information. I have a trade to protect. An excellent point. Well made. The answer to your question is, unsurprisingly, a man in a house. A man in a house buys all the void-tainted fish I can send him.
That dark shadow crosses his face once more. He shivers.
Not that I've ever met the man. Not sure I want to, if I'm honest. Absolutely not. I don't give away sensitive information like that to anyone who just asks for it. And I don't keep it lying around, neither. That really is enough now. I'm asking you to leave. Good day.
You see a man, well-fed and wealthy, but stress has lined his...
You took your time. The Magisters are searching the place, and Lohar needs to get his stuff out of the basement if he doesn't want to lose it. Good. And if you get caught, I know nothing about it and this conversation never happened. Good day.
Look out! I see a trap nearby. Look out! I see a trap nearby. This place stinks. But some of these barrels look interesting.
One barrel of fish stands out from the others. It's sealed and marked with a cross. Something about it seems familiar. Dripping with liquid sauce, this barrel is sealed and marked with a cross. For nothing stirs in the dank and stinking basement, and yet you feel an imminent presence. Inside, you find not fish, but weapons. Powerful weapons. The kind of weapons the Magisters took from the Hollow Marshes.
do just as you're told. Well now, how's my favorite god woken?
Ifan smirks and shakes his head.
I'll spare you the tall tales we usually tell. When a new cub joins up with the lone wolves, we interrogate them. Then, a very complex equation decides their new moniker. I don't remember all the questions, but I remember enough to give you a lone wolf name if you want one. So tell me this, which of these scenes attracts you the most?
Ifan nods and raises his eyebrows, a slight smile brightening his face.
And then, target in sight? What's your preferred execution method? Right.
Ifan scrawls something on a little piece of paper and hands it to you. On the page in thick black letters is written Dusty Kiss.
Not as pant-wettingly fearsome as Silverclaw, but not bad. Not bad at all. An old lone wolf colleague of mine in disguise, Callow. He's hunting Godwoken, but don't worry. I didn't tell him our little secret. Poor fellow'd have an attack of the bloody flux if he knew what was really going on. Don't worry. I'm not going to hand you in for the bounty. Sure, you could do the very same to me. I think we should know who hunts us and why. Just play it cool. We go in, we get answers, we leave. Nothing more to it than that.
From the glint in his eye and the wicked smile he wears, you can tell he speaks in jest.
All right. It has the potential to get messy. Very messy indeed. But I've got your back if you've got mine. No. No. Heard of? Yes. He's got a lot of pets. I heard he takes them as souvenirs after every contract he fulfills. But I'll be honest with you, I don't ask too many questions about why. I don't, want to know. I'm from the deserts of Mezd originally. My parents died when I was very young, no more than a cub. They were spice merchants, killed by bandits as we were trading on the forest roads. The elves nearby saved me afterwards. They found me hiding in a wagon and they took me in.
Ifan bites his lip, hard enough to draw blood.
They were my home until I was old enough to join the Order. Mother Melody always said I'd have a hard life. She saw it as fact, since I was born under the waxing moon. Ah, a gentle one. Shy and intense. I've been striving my whole life to prove mine wrong. To, zero success. So far. For sure. Always carry a snack.
Ifan reaches into his tunic pocket and pulls out a strip of dried raw meat. He takes a tiny bite.
Now, what else do I have to share?
Ifan rummages around the roll-down tops of his boots and grins in victory as he plucks a single mushroom from the folds.
Aha.
He hands you the mushroom with great ceremony, bowing as he holds it aloft.
Oh, I wouldn't. This one's not for eating. But I'll tell you, it comes in handy if you're dining with someone who really needs to lose their life. And soon.
Ifan smiles and looks around before reaching high into his sleeve and pulling out a tiny herbal wrap. The unmistakable scent of Drudene hits you as he holds it out to you.
The last weapon in the Lone Wolf arsenal. You know, for after the toughest jobs.
He winks and tips his fingers to his temples before loping off.
Not much of a landlubber, but sometimes I get no choice in the matter. Besides, there's business to take care of. I always figured every dwarf is pure of heart when they pop out of their mummas, but we ain't born cruel. We're made cruel. That means we can be made uncruel. Not sure Lohar will ever be an upstanding member of his community, but he knows where to draw the lines. I don't know. I've never been one for worshipping. I always figured if Duna really existed, he'd show himself. I mean, am I really supposed to ask some invisible dwarf in the sky to grant world peace? Or give me a pony? Yeah, it sounded like a waste of time to me. But, then he showed himself. He said he could help me free our people if I helped him. And I left with more questions than when I started.
Go on, then. You have an ever so curious definition of happiness. I've picked up the scent I searched for. Such a happening comes coupled with very different emotions indeed. The cat, when it's about to pounce, isn't happy. It simply is. Huh. A tale of cloaks and daggers and daredevilry. You up for it? Wonderful.
She bows with thespian.
Imagine a black room. It's been your room for years. You know it by touch more than sight, for it's always dark. And when I say always dark, I mean always dark. You're either in the room or in the box, for it's in the box that you travel. You're only let out at night, because you only hunt in the night, with the Master's voice in your ears urging you on. And after it's done, you lie down in the box once more, with wet hands and mad red thoughts. Sometimes it's best to let sleeping questions lie. The thing is, the box didn't break me, though I confess it taught me to hate. One night, I killed a scholar. With my needle through his fragile old skull, he fell headfirst upon his writing desk, blood mingling with spilt ink. It's when I saw the ink that timid thoughts of rebellion first bloomed. Back in my dark room, I dipped my needle that killed the scholar in his own ink, and engraved his name in my skin. I'd remember him. I'd honor him with vengeance. His name was the first, but many more followed, of course.
She bares her left arm and shows you the name. You softly run your finger across it.
Mindarin. He was Turashar, a keeper of stories. I'm sure he was loved by many. People like him, the beloved dead, they kept me going. Then, one day, it happened. A gush of wind, a sliver of light. Light! I hardly knew it for what it was. A simple oversight that comes with habit. A door, left slightly ajar. That was all I needed to feel a rush of blood, a thirst for liberation like never before. I tore at the shackles that kept me chained to the floor, iron thick as a smith's wrists. Of course they wouldn't budge, they never did before. But now that I saw the light, something welled up inside me, a raw and undeniable burst of power. The shackles broke, and next thing I knew, I was free. I stood alone outside the ruins of a fortress, snow-capped peaks all around me. But the sun, oh, the sun. I had risen as if from the grave, and she kissed me back to life. Why, I traveled back to civilization and had myself a long, luxurious bath. I was given my needle by the master. Guess I'm just sentimental like that. Fine, if it means that much to you.
She draws her needle and holds it up.
Go on. Ever so gently touch the tip.
Barely have you touched the needle's pinpoint surface when it pierces your fingertips.
Sharp little minx, isn't she? Sibyl, this needle was forged in an altogether different world. It wasn't wrought upon a crude anvil hammered into shape with rough blows. No, it was cast with demon precision. It is absolutely priceless, and it's yours. The master's own words. And he was right. As an instrument of assassination, it's absolutely priceless. But one day soon, he'll find out just how much he overspent on his gifts for little old me. Just why this needle is a girl's best friend. One might say I'm a bit of a sucker for poetic justice.
For Alexander the Innocent!
Come, sis. What did you think was gonna happen?
Better get out there before Mortis, all right? That's right. Lost one of my best lads, Anhar. Didn't get Charlie's body back, though. Well, I reckon that's good news. Poor thing. She'll be back in time. She and Anhar were sweethearts. We will, once the Reds turn down the alarm a bit. They're jumpy as all hell for the moment. Won't do anyone any good to raise a ruckus now. Whatever needs...
do this.
This must be the place Lohar mentioned. It looks unassuming enough.
The dwarf is unnaturally still. She calmly opens her left eye, then her right.
What do you want?
The dwarf unfolds her arms and shoots to her feet.
All right, lizard. Right, glad Lohar ain't left us here to wither. Those brutes are taking their sweet time down there. I gotta send word soon. Get to it then. But tell the lunkheads that Glenn has sent you before they bash your brains in.
Open the hatch then.
If we had a crowbar.
You think a crowbar
I've spotted
would
something.
open this thing? Huh, you got rocks knocking around that noggin of yours.
There we go.
Gordon, finally.
The door's opening.
Duna's dagger dragon. You here to free us or kill us?
The male dwarf expels 2 lungfuls of air and glances happily at his companion.
We've only been fretting here for a few hours, but it's felt like days. That snot-nosed priest's as slippery as a snake in an oil drum.
Ain't found nothing that lets on what Morris is up to. Only thing we managed were to close that door and get us stuck. And if there's another door out there, never could find it.
Lohar ain't gonna be pleased.
Best we head off then. We've got business to attend to.
Well, this won't do. If I can get stuck, I can get unstuck.
Lohar will want to know of this.
The shrine depicts Duna, yet has clearly seen better days. Scratches and fissures deface its exterior, and its eyes have been gouged hollow. You run your hands along the exterior until your fingers graze the button noted in the schematic. There's no mistaking the sound of stone chafing stone. The entrance to the chamber
I've spotted something.